Okay, welcome back for part 3 of the series. Today we will cover the release process, which is provided by the GitHub Actions CI/CD pipeline. In the last video, we completed our setup for publishing to Maven Central. So now we will create a first release, which will then also be officially published, not as a snapshot, but as a real published Maven Central version of our new library. So with the repo, how we left off, we don't have any tags, we don't have any releases yet. And the artifact version we can find in the Gradle properties file is at 0.1 snapshot. So if you check out your repository and do a Gradle build, it will build and package an artifact jar with the version 0.1 snapshot. And this is also how we confirmed, which was published to the Sonatype Nexus. Now, let's make a simple change. Let's just say we change, we simply change the details here in our meta for the Maven publication. So we said this is here, let's just put my name in. This is ThrivingDev, and I will commit this as a new branch. As an example pull request, I say this is your Maven publication details in for the library. So this is our template for creating a pull request for this new branch that was created. Which you ideally should fill out accordingly. And you create that pull request. And pull request will also trigger the build pipeline. So you cannot merge yet because checks need to be completed or are still active. You can also influence this by configuring your repository. I think this is part of the Actions general. Or is it part of, I think it's part of the branch rules. I would also recommend to add branch protection rule for the main branch. We say we require pull requests before merging with one approval. We want the most recent reviewable push to be approved again, so you cannot get an approval and then change your code after. And we require status checks to pass before merging. Or we say the build should succeed and at least the integration tests should succeed to be able to merge the pull request. So we'll create this for the main branch. Let's head back to our pull request. Now it's also saying checks have not completed yet. You can see all of the actions running. You can see the integration test step has, I think, just started progressing. The build and tests have completed. So we'll now just wait for this to finish up. Okay, fast forward, all of the checks have completed. Merging is still blocked because usually you would require one merge code review and approval. We'll bypass this in this demo and still merge our pull request. Confirm the merge. And we'll delete the branch to clean up. And now we have our merged pull request, which will also trigger a new pipeline to run, which will build the new merged main branch. Now we will simply just cancel this run for now, since it's not necessary and not important. And what I want to show in this is actually the release process. The release process is triggered with the main pipeline with the run workflow button. You can always just trigger a build from the main branch or from any other branch if you run this workflow. And if you want to create a release, here's a drop down where you can select what release type you want to do. So no release will simply build the main branch, which will publish a snapshot to Maven Central and publish and deploy Java doc and run all of the code checks and all of that. But now we say we want to create a minor release, click the run workflow. And now to save time, I will again just fast forward the video and we will see how this proceeds. Okay, fast forward. We can now see we have multiple pipelines completed. This was the initial triggered pipeline, the main pipeline. Then we have a skipped pipeline with a Gradle release plugin commit, a pre-tag commit on the main branch. Then we have a pipeline running on a tag 010 and one pipeline again on the main branch with a new commit 011 snapshot. So all of this essentially is a mix of a pipeline job, which we will quickly start off. This manually triggered pipeline with in the dropdown selected a minor release process will go ensure the usual build, passes the Gradle build and the integration tests, and it will then trigger the Gradle release job. This job is only triggered when you manually submit or dispatch a workflow, the main workflow, with a release type selected. It's kind of a 3-step process where, just like we were able to see with the different commits, the first is a commit where we change the version of the artifact from 001 snapshot to the new version to be released, 010. Next step is this is pushed to the main branch, then it's tagged. The tag is pushed, and then it changes again the version from the released version to the next snapshot version. All of this happens automatically. This is done by the Gradle release plugin, part of this pipeline run. But since with this pipeline run, we push one commit to the main branch, then we tag and push a tag to the main to the repo, and then we also, or the plugin creates another commit and pushes to the main branch. We get those 3 pipelines started. Pipeline is made clever with conditions. Just skip this commit, since we don't need to build and run the pipeline for this, but we then run our pipeline for the tag and we run it again for the new snapshot version. And the pipeline for the tag runs a full pipeline, including also Java doc and also the Gradle publish to Maven Central. And this time the Maven publish is not a snapshot publish, but a release publish type. And if we head back to the repo, we can now see on our batch that we now have on Maven Central our first version 010 released. Quick note, this will take up to like at least 15 minutes to show up, because first of all, Maven Central is cached and needs to digest and refresh the new version tagged. Secondly, this batch itself is cached, and yeah, all of this will take some time to pop up. But now we can see on the official Maven Central repo that we have our new Java library template demo with the version 010 published. Now there's one more to do, which is actually optional. In GitHub releases, we can now see one tag showing up, but no release created yet. So if we head over to our tags, we can now also say create release. We can use the feature generate release notes, which will automatically name the release according to your tag. And it will also generate release notes with all of the pull requests that have been merged. And it will also detect new contributors. Publish this release. And we have now a published release with kind of changes also documented. and this is now also showing up as the latest release version on the GitHub repo main page. And with this, we can wrap up part 3 video. And in the next video, we will cover JavaDoc, how JavaDoc is published using GitHub pages. Please give me some likes on the videos, also star the original Java library template repository. And if you have ideas for improvement, please create issues or leave a comment on YouTube, and also follow me on Twitter and other social media. Thank you, and see you in the next video for JavaDoc. Bye-bye.